Hey my peoples, it's Z, and y'all know that YandereDev beef. We're gonna react. Even though it just black screen, you can just listen to the sound because I don't have that YouTube set up. I really don't. So we're gonna react. This is hold on before I even continue. The YouTuber's name is Callimara'S. I'm gonna put that in description. And she's just gonna, the title, the caption says YandereDev is not sorry and will never change.
Hello everyone, this is Callimara here, and no, it's not calamari. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new to the pond, go ahead and take a dive. You might like it here. So, today's topic, as you might have seen from the title and thumbnail, might be a bit of a throwback to some of my subscribers from my earlier days on YouTube. For context, I have quite a history with Yandere Simulator and its developer, since I basically built my channel through my Yandere Simulator rewrite and redesign series, where I would take the issues I had with the game's mechanics, characters, and stories and channel it into something more creative and productive. The series is still up in case you wanted to see it, but you might notice that it ended rather abruptly, and that's because at that point I'd become very familiar with the red flags and MO that the dev exhibited and implemented in his game.
Hold on, I got a cough. Alright, back to it.
And it just felt viscerally wrong for me to associate with and create content for it, even to criticize it. Throughout these videos, I like to think that I tried my best to discourage people from supporting the game and its developer through my criticisms and bringing exposure to the various misdeeds and glaring red flags that the developer exhibited. Now, because of this history, I feel obligated to bring everything I have learned and pieced together recently to bring attention to it, so that at the very least, you will be armed with information and can carry your own opinions on the situation. But it is also very important that this information gets out there so that it reaches as many people as possible. As is the norm on YouTube recently, this story is a case of grooming and actual exploitation of a minor by someone with a massive platform who possesses a pattern of abusive behavior that his supporters normalized for years. So trigger warning on that. Only proceed if you feel that you are in a position to do so. I'm sure for many people who have any passing knowledge of YandereDev, let alone following him like I have, what happened was not in the slightest bit surprising. In fact, for me personally, it was an eventuality, a ticking time bomb that was just a matter of when. YandereDev is someone who has direct access to minors, with a fan base composed largely of them and a pattern of degenerate behavior and mindset. Just a recipe for disaster. He has been long called out for his behavior and degenerative views on subjects such as the age of consent.
Hold on. So I'm gonna read what she got on this screen right here. She said, it says, I got a cough drop in my mouth as I kind of see it. Regrettably, these concepts were simply too complex for poor In to grasp. Intent on forcing me to answer a question that would allow her to brand me as a pedophile, she demanded to know if I would permit a 14-year-old to have sex with a grown man if the 14-year-old had passed the sex license test. What? That I had proposed. What? That sounds crazy, is it? Obviously, if there's a test that objectively proves that a person is ready for sex and a person passes that test, then that person is objectively ready. What? Simple logic, but Anne lacked the mental capacity to figure this out for herself. The sucker is 14. What's not clicking? That's a kid. Even if that's a weird license to take anyway. But what? I think he's lacking the mental of realizing that she's that young. And why would you give her a test like that? That's mad weird. A sex license? Fuck is a sex license? Just open your legs up. There you go. I'm like confused. I'm like, what? Okay, continuing with the video.
And relationships, actions and takes that his supporters and people in his circle excused for years, and as a result, he has always managed to bounce back from it. But things are different now, because some of his major supporters who have supported him through all his controversies are finally walking out and disavowing him. As of writing the script, here is a list of all the
Oh! He's done. He's done. Okay, here's the list. Here's the voice actors. Marcelina Laws. She's the I didn't know she voiced like Ryoba too. So it's Ayano and Ryoba. PM Seymour, Budo and others. Austin Hively Senpai. Brittany Laudea, Osana, I can't pronounce the first name, but Myers, which is Midori, Kakona, Saki, Oka. I don't know how to pronounce that name either. She voiced the nurse. The nurse got a voice? I had no idea. Rachel Messer, the teacher. Haley? I think it's Haley Parsley, Sharomi, Ryan Holly, well, see, I'm bad at names. Another character. Hayden, David Hunt, Rybaru, and Dawn M. Benedict, multiple rivals and Aoi. Ooh, they did Aoi? Oh! Jay from the Cub Scouts? Oh, he's done. Because Jay's the only one who's been holding on. Jay's the only person who made that game relevant. Jay from the Cub Scouts. Bijou Mike. Oh, he's done. Oh, he's done. There's other YouTubers and game volunteers. Oh, my boy done. The man done.
Contributors to Yandere Simulator that have publicly disavowed and walked out of the project, including the voice actors of major characters like Michaela Laws, the voice of Yandere-chan herself.
I didn't know it was Michaela Laws. I thought it was Michelle. Sorry.
And I'm sure more will follow. I believe this is the final blow we needed to take away YandereDev's platform, because he has proven time and time again that he does not deserve it. I personally find it galling that it took
I'm sorry that I keep pausing, but I remember there was a video that was put out by him. I don't remember the caption of it, but I remember there was a part in the video when he said, "Oh, I really don't deserve all this love," and he's dead right. Even this woman said it.
This long for them to do this, but better late than never, I guess. From this point on, I'd like to disclose that everything I say in this video is an allegation. We do not know for sure the truth of the situation, and these are my speculations based on information that was made publicly available by Ali McSee and the victim themselves, who originally worked with Ali McSee to make the video. So, over the course of the summer of this year in 2023, YandereDev had allegedly groomed and sexually exploited a minor who will be referred to as Jane. Even though their username has been made public, I still want to respect their wishes in keeping their identity anonymous, because it's actually one of the few decisions that they got to make on their own without any coercion. Jane was less than half of YandereDev's age, and he would contact them through private Discord voice calls and Snapchat messages under the name Cosplay Fan. And while the voice calls are undeniably him, the identity of the Snapchat account owner is much shakier, which, if the messages sent there are to be believed...
Okay, she sent a message up. I'm gonna read it. So this was, I think, the YandereDev, like she was saying, that might be him. So it says, yeah, I know, but if you ever decide, fuck that YandereDev, you can anonymously release screenshots of some horny statement I made towards you. What? I could, but I haven't saved any screenshots. And you will see if I did. This account has no ties to you. Not your name, not your Bitmoji. It looks like a fake account. And you never confirmed that you added me on Discord. I suppose people could believe me just because they can. That's how Twitter works. But there are but there are already a lot of people saying you DM them stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot he did other people too. Oh, that you DM them stuff. It wouldn't have any more substance or validity than the current rumors. I noticed in some of these screenshots, y'all people are really talking really, like, professionally. I wouldn't even say professionally, but like, I would say not humorous. Like me, I'll say something funny and stuff like that, and I like to put my little bow at the end. I like to put my little heart. Like, I like to dress up my words. I'm really dramatic. So yeah, I noticed in some of these messages, it's not humorous. I don't see no type of flirtation. You gotta show it to me, love, because I don't see no type of flirtation. But I can tell this right here is controlling. Ooh, But yeah,
was intentional. I personally believe that this was YandereDev due to the conversations regarding Ali's video where YandereDev was telling Jane how they should...
Okay, she got more screenshots since he's refusing. You can say, I know what the laws say, but I don't want to risk it. It's my own decision as the victim. I don't know. Then he said, it's my recording, so it's my decision to make it, not yours. You can be forceful with him, make it clear that your word is final and he does not have to say in the manner.
Proceed with retracting their story and to stop Ali from making the video public.
Wow.
Because these exact phrases and words appear in both Jane's statement retraction, including all 3 iterations where it was posted on our...
That's a lie. There's a lot of screenshots disrespecting the victim. I'm the victim. Drop the situation. Even in the Discord. Oh, sorry. I need to blow my nose right quick. Okay, I finished blowing my nose. Okay, back to it.
/Yandere Simulator and r/Osana and YandereDev's WordPress apology, which we will be dissecting further into the video. I actually did a 3-hour-long live stream with Malu Malware about this, so if you want to see us break down the video in great detail and piece our findings together, go check it out. We also got to speak directly with Ali regarding her video because while I appreciate Ali for bringing this situation to light, I do believe they could have handled things much better with Jane, and due diligence was certainly neglected when it came to protecting their safety. I understand that they needed to gather evidence against YandereDev, but I question the wisdom and morality of using said victim as bait to get them. But this video is not about Ali, so let's focus on YandereDev. Before I get into anything else, I think it's important to discuss the victim retractions, as this is the victim's story. They have posted their statements on the r/Osana subreddit, where it was allegedly deleted, and only remains live in the r/Yandere Simulator subreddit, where those of you who are familiar with YandereDev might be aware everything is heavily moderated by Alex himself. In both statements, the victim denies that they were ever threatened, harmed, or groomed by YandereDev, and that the entire situation was taken completely out of context and blown out of proportion, while at the same time stating that they have been threatened with legal action for the voice calls that they recorded without his knowledge. So, which is it? Were you threatened?
Wait a minute, let me read that.
While at the same time stating that they have been threatened with legal action for the voice calls that they recorded without his knowledge.
Okay, let me read this screenshot. It says Dev is threatening to sue me though, lol. So keep me anon. That way he has to admit it's him in the recordings, or he can't sue. That first line got me weak. The Dev is threatening me to sue threatening to sue me.
So, which is it? Were you threatened or were you never threatened? But the reason I mention this is because while I will always side with the victim and respect their wishes, there is a blatant and admitted coercion through emotional manipulation and legal threat that not only further prove the allegations of grooming, but also nullifies their consent. Now, before you raise your pitchforks at me, let me explain. As a healthcare worker, we had to learn a lot about consent and the law surrounding consent because it's a very big component in healthcare. And common law states that when coercion is present, it renders the act of consenting null and void. In order for consent to be given, the person must be fully informed on the consequences of their decision, have mental competency, and most importantly, do so voluntarily. According to the NHS, this means that the decision to either consent or not to consent must be made by the person and must not be influenced by pressure from staff, friends, or family. Based on the statements made by Jane, even without taking the Snapchat messages, which are...
Okay, let me read. So it says, yes, it's from Cosplay Fan, aka Yan. Yes, but you are the one thing holding a loaded gun at my life. And this is her. I was a fan. He said, I can do nothing to you. She said, I feel like you're right, which is making me feel awful. I really don't want to ruin your life, but I also think I have to. Jan said, I'm lonely, a sad game developer. You are a girl who secretly records. Oh, he meant to put an A. You are a girl who secretly records. And she said, because I'm the only one with proof. And he said, you do not have to do this. Please do not do this, please. And she said, Dev, I really think I need to. Then he said, no, you don't. I'm not a villain. And she said, I'll sit on this. And he said, I have done nothing wrong. And she said, you're really persuasive. Wow. Y'all and y'all vocab is crazy. I don't know how old was she when she was saying this, because this vocab is amazing. Whew, I can never talk to somebody like this. They wouldn't even take me serious.
Just outright damning into consideration.
Okay, hold on. Let me see the rest. Let me read it. This should be an easy call. I have a life outside of this. Me too. With way worse things going on, and I don't know what to do. Well, this is actually the worst thing that has ever happened in my life. I'm sorry. Nothing else compares. I'm really sorry. If you were genuinely sorry, you would have saved me. You are the only human on earth who can save me. I might, but I need to think. I really need to think. I could be recording these texts right now, though. So either way, I haven't said anything villainous in these texts. Okay? This, he said, just, this is fucked up and I don't deserve this. And I don't feel like you do. I feel like I'm exposing a boyfriend, but you're 34. Hold on. Hold on. I feel like I'm exposing a boyfriend, but you're 35. I didn't know I did not know you was that old. But you're 35 and you have some weird views. Just a lot of things. Please spare my life. I haven't done anything so bad that I deserve to lose everything. Absolutely everything, forever. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know what to do. Now that's funny as fuck. 35 is crazy.
There is strong evidence of the victim being coerced.
Coerced? Oh, he told us I would be eternally grateful if you saved me. Would you? There is good in you. You can make the right decision. And what would you do? Uh-oh.
Not forced by legal threat into silence to act against their best interests and prioritize YandereDevs, and that is why I am proceeding with this video. He literally told Jane to say, "I lied, none of it was real. I asked my friend to use a YandereDev AI voice changer. That is not actually his voice. Please don't actually release any video. The evidence is all fake." By utilizing secrecy and silence, two of the most commonly used tactics by groomers, YandereDev only furthered to cement himself as one, in my perspective. He wants to silence the victim so that he can continue to control the narrative. And it's so important that we don't let him twist the truth. And the only way to do that is to expose his lies by comparing them with the facts that are present. So I implore you to watch Ali's video, which is linked in my description, to witness these exchanges for yourself and form your own opinions. Previously, the victim had taken the video down on a live stream with Cameron F305, a very staunch supporter of YandereDev, who I have no doubt will continue supporting the man until the sun goes cold. But the video has since been re-uploaded by another channel. In this live stream, the victim claimed that the reason they were recording these clips in the first place was because, and I paraphrase here, YandereDev says the silliest clippable things and wanted to share such jokes with their friends. But we'll get into why I think that's not entirely the truth either. Now, if the victim is watching this, then I ask you, please keep watching, because I have included this part specifically for you and for anyone else who may be experiencing or have gone through grooming. I have seen so many misinformed people focusing their blame on the victim for either defending YandereDev or for being in that situation in the first place. They see that Jane's behavior is inconsistent, one moment gathering evidence to expose YandereDev with Ali and the next desperately trying to defend him. Some people took the retraction to mean that nothing happened at all, and the evidence that was gathered beforehand is therefore moot. But just know that this is exactly what Alex or YandereDev intended to happen when he silenced you and released his statements. He wanted people to think that this was all your fault as opposed to him, the responsible adult in the situation who had infinitely more.
Okay, I'm gonna say something real quick. They were both responsible, and I'm gonna say why. So, first off, even if anybody talked to you sideways, block button right there. You didn't have to go through that, miss. You didn't have to go through that. You could have saw that. You saw that coming from a mile away. All girlies know. All girlies know. That tone starts switching up. All girlies know. Talking to you sideways. Block unfriend button right there. Y'all know what time it is. So that's her. That's on her for staying in the problem. I'm not defending YandereDev, but she knew what she was up against. She know the man is weird. So that's on her too. She should have been left. Block button right there, unfriend and everything. You're done, boy. Get out my DMs. Say hi to the rest of the people that's in the blacklist.
Than you ever did in that relationship. And the behavior that the victim is showing now is textbook behavior for grooming victims. So to stop further misinformation and twisting of the truth, I'd like to share with you all an article to inform you more on the experience of a grooming victim and what happens.
I'm sorry, I have to pause because this coughing is like whooping my butt. I rolled it back some because yeah.
Information and twisting of the truth, I'd like to share with you all an article to inform you more on the experience of a grooming victim and what happens to their mindset when they are groomed. You can find the link to this article in the description, and I highly suggest you read it in full for yourself. This article is written by Ulich and Oak from Massey University in New Zealand. Though its main purpose is to find the relationship between grooming and the development of Stockholm Syndrome, both in the victim and the practitioner handling the victim, it has some excellent discussion around the process of grooming and the tactics often used by groomers to make their victims reluctant to disclose their experiences or outright protect their groomers. I also want to emphasize the importance of not conflating the term pedophile and S-offender. As mentioned in the article, the term pedophile is a specific clinical diagnosis, and most child S offenders engage in grooming, not just. It further goes on to say the
Hold on. Are you not allowed to say the word pedophile? Well, now we know.
Of with S offenders may prevent the offender recognizing and taking responsibility for their grooming behaviors. Which makes sense, because then the offender can simply use the defense that they're not a never actually address their grooming behavior. So please keep this in mind moving forward. Do not give these people any kind of wiggle room. Of course, that isn't to say whether or not YandereDev is a because at the end of the day, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist who can give him an official diagnosis, and because I know the man will refuse to set foot in a doctor's office anyway, so come to your own conclusions on that. Let's move on and define what grooming is, because it is not what YandereDev thinks it is, as we can see in this.
Wait, what do you think it is? Because she just put up the screenshot. Time to read more. So you said, if I say wait 2 years and try again, does it technically count as grooming? I think so. Legally, yeah. You can go from sexual talks to a minor to saying wait until you're legal enough to continue this with me. That's, I think, the definition of grooming. But if I say, whoa, don't say that until you're 18, the subtitle change in phrasing makes it not grooming? Perhaps, not sure. I think anything implying to wait till you're 18 is grooming. Then this man says grooming is like I will ensure that I F this girl when she turns 18, haha. And the girlie said, and you were just casually flirting and engaging in sexual stuff with a minor, not planning to get with me when I'm 18. Look at her, she throwing shots at this boy.
Chat message. According to this article, as cited from Craven et al. In 2006, grooming is a process by which a person prepares a child, significant adults, and the environment for the abuse of a child. Specific goals involve gaining access to the child, gaining the child's compliance, and maintaining the child's secrecy to avoid disclosure. It is not, wahaha, I will ensure that I F this girl when she turns 18, wahaha. YandereDev, Alex. Of course, this may differ from other valid definitions of grooming based on the source, but for this video, this is the definition we will be using. YandereDev, being a well-known public figure with his own community, already has a prepared environment that places him in a position of trust where victims are unlikely to be believed. And knowing the demographic of people who genuinely like this game, YandereDev also has access to potential victims who would do anything for him because of his status and renown. The last requirement he needed to fulfill this definition to a T was maintaining the child's secrecy to avoid disclosure, which he has now also completed. Achievement unlocked! True groomer! Hence why I also said earlier that this feels like a ticking time bomb that was just waiting to explode. He already had the components, it was just a matter of when. With that in mind, let's talk about the process of grooming. Craven et al.'s 2006 literature review identified 3 types of sexual grooming: self-grooming, grooming the environment, which we touched on before, and grooming the child.
What is self-grooming?
What do you know? YandereDev actually does all 3.
What?
First, self-grooming. According to the article, this involves the justification or denial of the offending behavior as a precursor to the move from thinking about the act to being motivated to abuse. An example of this would be perhaps someone saying, "Oh, I was just joking around. I didn't actually intend what I said to be any type of romantic or sexual interest." Where does that sound familiar? It can be affected by the response of both the wider community and the child, both of which, in YandereDev's case, we know are very receptive and open to his unhinged ideals. In self-grooming, the perpetrator adopts the cognitive distortion used by the victims themselves to minimize the harm or to justify behavior. We see both of this in his WordPress apology and Discord server apology. This next part is just...
Whoa, I made a Discord apology? Look, I'm gonna explain at the end of the video.
damning to YandereDev and his pattern of behavior. Children are regarded as S-objects rather than human beings, or there is a sense of entitlement on the part of the abuser, or the behavior is excused by the belief system, "We live in a dangerous world," or it is excused by, in quotes, uncontrollable urges. To groom the environment, they will integrate themselves into a community and places where they are likely to meet children and will often assume a position of trust. Thanks to his game, renown, and fame, YandereDev has this built in. They are often described as charming, very helpful, and have insider status by their victims and people in their community. If all of this sounds familiar to you, then I hope you can use this information to inform your own conclusions. Finally, there are 2 aspects to grooming the child. The physical grooming, which we can rule out immediately as YandereDev and his victim have never met in person, as far as we know, and psychological grooming. Psychological grooming involves attempts to normalize sexualized behavior, interacting with the child on their own wavelength, or raising the child's status to that of an adult. The article also mentions that there are 3 typologies of groomer. The aggressive groomer, whose approach uses violence, threat, or force. The criminal opportunist, who engage in one-off offenses against strangers. And the intimate groomer, who perceives a relationship with their victims as analogous to a consenting sexual relationship between 2 adults. I'll let you decide which one is relevant to us. So then, how does this lead to alleged victims like Jane behaving the way that they do? According to Alvarez and Alessi in 2012, victims of sexual abuse are more likely to develop Stockholm Syndrome.
So as I was saying, ever since
It was an ad.